Welcome to the Finance Marketing Podcast, a show that empowers finance professionals to market their businesses in ways that feel good and actually achieve results. I'm your host, Hillary. I've been working with folks in financial services to develop marketing strategies that work and create results-oriented marketing content since 2020. And I've learned a lot about what works in finance marketing, what doesn't work, and where financial services pros get stuck. Join us each Friday as we explore real, effective ways to market your finance business and connect with folks who truly embody your ideal clients. My guest this week is Sheri Fitts. She has spent more than 30 years in financial services, and what she has figured out is something that most of the industry is still catching up to. And it's that in a world of algorithms and automation, the professionals who win are the ones who know how to genuinely connect. Sheri is a speaker, author, and catalyst, the founder of Sheri Fitts Co, and the creator of digitalEQ, which is a framework for combining emotional intelligence with technology to build real trust and relationships. She is also the host of Sway Live, a 3-day annual conference for financial professionals who are ready to stand out through personal branding and thought leadership. And the next one is coming up August 2nd through 4th in Boulder, Colorado, just about 30 minutes west of me. So I am excited to see you there if you can make it. So in today's conversation, Sheri and I are digging into one of the most misunderstood concepts in financial services marketing, which is your personal brand. And I will tell you, this is not your typical update your headshot and polish your LinkedIn profile and maybe get a new color palette conversation. Sheri brings a really refreshing and deeply human perspective to what actually makes a personal brand a personal brand, and why so many advisors are unknowingly leaving their reputation in other people's hands. We're talking about what it really means to build a brand that's fueled by purpose, how that purpose makes everything from content creation to referrals so much easier, and how to start uncovering what that purpose actually is for you. So what Sheri's really talking about is doing that deep work to let your personal brand reveal itself to you, and then how you can hone and shape that personal brand so that you are seen the way that you want to be seen, in a way that connects with the people you want it to connect with. So if you're feeling like your marketing is a little bit scattered, or you're not really sure what makes you different from every other advisor out there, this conversation is going to give you a really meaningful, deep framework for thinking about that. Sheri truly has a gift for making this process feel both accessible and deeply worthwhile. So I think you're going to walk away from this one with a lot to think about. So without further ado, let's dive in. Sheri, I'm so excited to have you with me today on this episode of the Finance Marketing Podcast. How are you?
I'm swell, Hillary, and it's awesome to be hanging out with you. So thank you for having me. It's like, a marketing sister for sure.
Yes, it's my pleasure. So let's jump right in. Why is it so important, in your view, for financial advisors to even care about having a personal brand?
Whoa. Well, I kind of wrote a whole white paper thing on it, but we're not even getting into that. There's a couple of reasons. Most of the time, people are doing research before they talk to you, even if they're referred to you. And how you show up in the digital world is very telling to people. So this is one of the funny things. I'm sure you probably had this happen to you, when people go, no, don't look at my website, it's really bad. And I'm thinking, okay, you don't want me to look at your website. Do you realize that everybody else is looking at your website? So, I think that's part of it, obviously. But the other part of it is that they do have a personal brand. It's just, do they want to frame it or shape it, or do they want to just let it be whatever other people think it is? So, because people create an idea of who you are, it just is the way we are wired as human beings, and we have to have shortcuts about who people are. And there's a lot that we can't do about what people think about us, and there's a lot of things that we can do. And certainly that's what personal branding is about, is how can you be intentional about how you show up, what matters to you, all of those kind of things, because you've got one anyway.
Mm. So a personal brand is really about you controlling the narrative about who you are rather than letting other people write it for you.
Said in a very succinct way.
Mm.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So let's go into how do you even think about a personal brand? I think sometimes when we hear the term personal brand, it feels a little bit ambiguous. What is that even? And what are the things that we can influence about our personal brand?
Well, I think when I first heard of the term personal branding, this will date me, is when Fast Company had Tom Peters wrote an article about you need to be the CEO of your life.
Mm.
And that was a Fast Company article in 1998. I I actually subscribed to the paper edition of Fast Company. So dated all the way around right there. So, you know, that what goes in to all of this? It's changed for me. I used to think it was a very narcissistic exercise, like
Mm.
people putting their pictures on bus stops and then like realtors putting their photos on their business cards. It felt
Mhm.
kind of smarmy to me. And over time, I've discovered that it's more than that. In what I believe and what I really talk about frequently is that a personal brand needs to be fueled by purpose, or that purpose is the energy source for your personal brand.
Mm.
And there's a lot there to kind of unpack, right? To me, that takes it from being something narcissistic and kind of self, whatever you want to call it, right? Serving, to something that is really more focused on the people you desire to serve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It it reminds me of this tension that I see playing out on LinkedIn sometimes when people write a LinkedIn post and then they attach a selfie of themselves to the post, and you'll always get those commenters or those people writing posts of their own asking, why do you need to put a selfie on your post? Why do you need to include pictures of yourself? But beyond just the algorithmic benefits of having photos of yourself, there is something to having a photo of yourself and showing your face candidly that builds trust with people in a subconscious sort of way. And that sounds to me kind of like what you're talking about here is it's not that I'm trying to post a picture of myself to get compliments on whether I look beautiful that day or not. But I'm posting a picture of myself because I know that people are more likely to trust me when they can see my face.
Well, I remember I was speaking at a conference in Canada before COVID, so that was a long time ago, right? And they had some of the people that were at the conference volunteer to pick up the speakers. And the person who picked me up said, "Oh, it's so nice to meet you, and it's so great that you look like your photo on LinkedIn." And I
Mm-hmm.
said, "Well, yeah, for sure, you know." And and then then one of the other speakers, his photo on LinkedIn was 25 years older.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guy who came off the airplane in Canada, you would not have known it was the same guy as people thought they were speaking to. So,
Mm-hmm.
right, that was before COVID. So let's just jump to now with AI and all of the things that we can do to modify our appearance or rewrite copy or whatever it is. One of the things I always use in an image when I'm talking about personal branding is one of my favorites from Blade Runner, the second Blade Runner, that people don't know whether you're real or not.
Mm.
And so there is a deep human desire to look people in the eyes, right? And to just be able to kind of discern, hopefully, that you're real.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and also to your point about the algorithmic benefit, it selfies work. We are, you see a little baby and they walk by another little baby. They're like, oh, baby. I mean, they want to see who you are. I mean, even little munchkins, tater tots, right? They're just always, they're so fascinated by other human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, right? It's the same thing. We need to see other people. Yeah.
And I think that translates to a larger purpose of personal brands, or a larger piece of personal brands that people don't realize all the time. There's an example coming to mind of an advisor that I know, and he's known as the guy who helps families figure out how to pay for college. That is what he is known for as a financial advisor. He helps with navigating student aid, student loans, saving for college, all these different things. But he doesn't just stop there. He talks about why that's so important to him. And I think that
Mm,
lends a real sense of depth to his personal brand, rather than just this is the guy who does personal loans. Can you
mm-hmm.
talk a little bit about maybe the different layers of personal branding and why it's important to go deeper than just, I want to be known for this?
Well, what I like about the example that you've given is I can immediately go to, I'm guessing there are, that it's not just about that he's helping people with student loans or financing college. It's that he has a deep and abiding belief in what an education can do for people, I'm guessing, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yep.
And and I think that that deep and abiding belief in what an education can do for people, then kind of comes through the work that he does with people. And so here's kind of my personal branding seminar in 2 minutes, as fast as I can go. One, right? One, we are amazing. We are miracles. We are unique. There is no one else like us on earth. And the chances of us being here are in the trillions. People calculate it, la, 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 right? And I've got lots of fun slides that show those pictures. Okay. And also, we are a result of belonging as a requirement for survival. We are. All of us are. Because when we were coming together in tribal situations, if we didn't belong, we would die.
Mm-hmm.
So we have naturally evolved as community based beings, and therefore we're good at belonging. Belonging is necessary. Those of you with little munchkins, when they come home from school and they've been ostracized, or even just Susie didn't want to play with me in the blocks today, and they're crying and almost as if they're aching, it's because they are.
Mm-hmm.
Because that ache to belong is a physical, can manifest itself physically in your body.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're amazing, we're miracles, and we have this deep desire to belong. And in financial services, I think even more so. And it's more around the whole compliance. Like we got to stay with the show.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, the layers, these are layers, right? These layers, the way that I see that solves this tension is purpose. That when we, much like the guy you used as an example, are living from a place of purpose, it changes everything. It changes everything. It also makes it easier for people to refer you because it's clear who you are, what you believe in, and who you can help. Oh, he's the guy that can help. You need to oh, you got a junior. Oh, you got a sophomore. Oh, you got a kid who can play soccer really well. You got to talk to this guy. Blah, 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 blah. It makes it
Mm-hmm.
easy because people know what you're about, they know what you stand for, and they feel good about, sharing. The other thing is that it's interesting is that people love a cause. We like superheroes, right? So having a purpose and kind of living that purpose is inspiring to other people.
Mm. How easy in your work with advisors and professionals, how easy is it for people to find that purpose and bring it up?
Well, okay. So I say that your personal brand is everything that you are and all that you believe into all that you do. Meaning, your personal brand is a discovery about what your purpose is, what your magic is, and who you're here to serve. The Hindu religion has a term for that. It's dharma, which is really, right, your life's purpose. And so when I'm talking about personal branding, what I believe it is just a true discovery of who you are and what you're here to do. And I don't think that that journey ever stops.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of woo woo, but not really. I think any entrepreneur or, leader can maybe understand that it's this journey that we're on, and it's one full of continued discovery.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it stops. I know for me, it hasn't stopped. I started this kind of journey of personal branding in 2008 when the market was going crazy and people wanted to have lunch and cocktails with me. And I thought to myself, why do you network when you don't have a job? And
Mm-hmm.
I decided right then and there that my job was going to serve me instead of me serving my job. And that's not a bad thing. It's me going, wow, I have a position inside this organization of trust inside the organization. I have a title that gives me a particular level of like cachet externally. I'm going to use those things. And it was beneficial to the organization, and it was really beneficial for me because 2 years
Mm-hmm.
later, I got laid off. You know, then I
Yeah.
got five job offers. So
Yeah.
there's a lot there, right? It's a journey.
I think that's a really great way to reframe it because it's realistic. And I also think that it probably makes people, particularly business owners, like a little bit uncomfortable when I think there's probably this, I know that I feel it, this need to think, well, I'm going to show up. This is how I'm going to show up and hopefully attract people that I want to work with, that I enjoy working with, that enjoy working with me, knowing that my journey is never complete. And so I'll never feel quite ready to show up, particularly.
Well, exactly. I mean, I remember when I had a marketing agency and we would help advisors and other financial services organizations create their brand and do a lot of things. And I remember talking to the leaders who would come to us to say, we need help with our brand. And I would say, you're just going to start to feel like you're on a therapist's couch for a while and you're just
Yeah.
going to have to deal with it,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And and there's all these stories about the fact that if your first website is not cringeworthy, you waited way too long. Perfection is not required.
Mm-hmm.
We we're not, we can't be.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about what are some of the things that you would do with advisors, or what are some of the questions that you might ask them that maybe they can ask themselves for whoever's listening to start to do that inner work to bring the purpose to the forefront?
Well, whoa. I think there's a reason why they're in financial services beyond just tripping across it. Now, because it's a grind, let's be clear, especially for advisors, because you've got to constantly be on the new client acquisition thing, the client retention thing, the compliance thing. It's a grind. And it can provide for a beautiful life for your family and your colleagues, and it's a grind. And I think that there's probably some story somewhere, something happened that compelled you to say yes to a tiny door opening in this world.
Mm.
And I think that that's an important kind of bit of introspection for folks to think about. For me, as an example, I was working as a graphic designer at an insurance company, so a workers' compensation insurance company, doing graphic design and public relations and stuff. And I was a single mom. And interestingly, I got 3 job opportunities like at the same time. Boom, boom, boom. Like when was it? 1998. Just crazy. 3 different. I've been at that job for 4 years. And one was for a 100-year-old printing company that was going to give me a car,
Oh.
right? Right? A brand new car for a single mom. The other one, I can't remember what it was. And the other one was for a financial services organization. And that financial services organization, when you calculated everything, was not really much different as far as salary and benefits go because they were small. I was employee number 14. And my office was in the hallway when we first started, right? And I took that job because I knew nothing about financial services.
Mm.
And for me, it changed my life. And I think that this is a really important reminder for advisors to hear. And I'm a super fan of this guy. His name is Joe Pine. He wrote a book called The Experience Economy. And this book is called The Transformation Economy. And essentially, here's the deal. You go from commodity to goods to services to experience to transformation. And what happened for me, because I worked in financial services, is my life was transformed. I saved money in my 401k plan. Never had done that before. With that 401k money, I was able to take a loan and have a down payment on a house that I owned. I didn't grow up in a house that was owned. Not at all. And what has really compelled me to stay in this industry is because it changed my life. My son bought a house. And that's a direct result of him experiencing his life through me, right? So what I think financial advisors need to understand is that you transform people's lives every day, even if they don't if they don't choose to be with you. And not only do you transform their lives, you change the lives of the people around them. And so there's a reason why you're here. Maybe it's because your dad was good with money. Maybe it's because your mom was good with money. Maybe it was because your grandmother gave you and you love doing stocks and you saw what that could do and now you see what it can do for your clients. Who knows what it is, right? But there's some reason beyond just the paycheck. And if there's not, okay, that's a whole nother couch for you to lay on for a while. Right? But so that was a long answer, Hillary. You got to tell me to time out. You got to kick me under the table because I could go on and on about this. But I think beginning to kind of understand maybe when was the aha moment you went, this is where I belong. And start to think about what that was, maybe. I don't know. Or pick your favorite client and go, why do I like them so damn much? And there's probably something that you have in common, right?
Or something that they represent that you want or you admire.
Right? Or you just love charitable remainder trusts. They like getting those set up for people. And for you, maybe it's all about helping people create legacy. Who knows, right? Or helping women who are coming out of divorce or families with special need kids or families with more than 4 kids. Whatever it is, who knows what it is, right? LGBT folks that have special things that need to happen as a result of some of their relationships. You'll find it. You just have to start looking.
So what are the stakes? What do you see as, so when somebody is able to really figure this out and figure out their purpose and then bring that and share it with other people, what is possible when that happens?
Well, I'll tell you that I think that some of what you start to present, or thinking about, okay, now how do I show up in this digital sphere, and what do I write, and what do I say, or what do I not say, or when do I do it, or is this too much, or la la la, all of that stuff kind of starts to come together a little bit more. You know? And so you know this as a marketer, like we deeply desire people to just pick a lane, be committed to a lane, right? And when you're committed to a lane, you can go much faster and much further than going, I'm all over the place. And maybe when you first get started, I'm all over the place. And maybe when some life change happens, you're all over the place. You get to redesign your life as often as you want, and pick a lane, you know, because when you do, then everything is easier, right? Everything is easier. And then it's not about you. Then it's about the people that you serve. So like for me, the first time I did Sway Live, we got back the audio visual bid, and it was $15,000.
Oh my gosh.
Now, we only had 27 people there, and they were paying $250 per ticket. The math doesn't work. You guys can do that better than me. I could not. I still go gulp. I could not sleep that night. I was just like, oh, what people do? The gremlins were just knocking me around. And then all of a sudden there were two things that happened. One was, it's not about you. It's about the people who are coming. So, you know, put on your big girl pants and figure it out. It's not about you. And that it's not about me gives me much more courage to do things that I wouldn't do otherwise. That I recently wrote a post about showing up as a pirate for 2 days in a row at an industry conference, and I was mighty uncomfortable. And people are like, really, Sheri? Because from all the people that we know, you could dress up as a pirate, right? And I'm like, no, it was uncomfortable. And I wrote the article, right? Because I wanted to share that this stuff's being distinct and different isn't necessarily easy.
It's not comfortable.
No. And I wanted to do it because I really wanted to show the team that I was working with, that hired me to consult, what it meant to be all in. Yeah.
It reminds me of this phrase that has been really helpful for me as a business owner, that I will succeed as long as I can get comfortable being uncomfortable. And for me, that has served me very well over the past 6 years, especially coming from a background that was teaching and felt very safe, and I knew what my paycheck was going to be and what my job was, and then moving into entrepreneurship, just totally different.
Yeah, who needs any personal growth books? Just start your own business. It's like, whoa, right? Who knew?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I don't have a college degree. Yes, I do. I started my own business. I have a PhD.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You do.
Yes.
I'm talking to one of the speakers about this. We've been talking about this. Who's going to be at Sway? And the thing is that, and also it feels like we keep learning the same lessons over and over again. Like, I've been here before. I mean, kind of from a different perspective, but I've been here before. But life is cyclical, right? Seasonal, right? We're on a big round circle thing that goes around and around, right? Everything's kind of, and yeah, I did something today that made me very uncomfortable, which was that, and actually it started earlier in the week. I wanted to reach out and propose an idea to a very senior level individual at a very large retirement plan record keeper in the United States, like one of the top two. And I had a brief conversation with him last year. And so I used that as my introduction, right, for the conversation for this year. But, I was I didn't know necessarily what to say in an email to him. Now I got to get the other one. Like I said, the sun is coming to Oregon, which is why we have, now it'll be look like I'm in the dark. There we go. So I went into my best friend Claude, and she and I had a lengthy discussion, and we were back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I use AI all the time, but I use it as a brainstorming partner. And then I'm like, no, I don't want to say that. I want to say this. And anyway, and I got the email out, and then Claude decided to ask me, well, what about follow up? And I went, hold on. I was brave. I sent the email, and Claude said, with this particular individual, right? These people you wait 10 days, these people, blah, 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 blah. This person you call this week. And I was like, right? And I have a system where I can track whether you opened the email or not. And so he hadn't opened the email. And so what did I do that was scary today? I actually called. Now, it was just a voicemail, and he's just a human being, but damn. I didn't know what to say. Yeah, I do, but I mean, scary. What? Why? It's just a guy. But it's,
I can just imagine the gut clenching feeling, though. That's how I feel every time I pick up the phone.
I know. So anyway, right? You got to do something. And you're like, you didn't jump off a building. You just called someone. Well, I don't care. The cortisol was high.
Yeah. Well, Sheri, you've mentioned Sway a couple of times. Tell us about Sway.
Well, Sway started in 2023, right? With a $15,000 audiovisual expense. By the way, close that loop for you so you don't stay in that kind of tension around that expense. I got it down to $5,000 because we negotiated it. And still, that's ridiculous. So we could have gone out and bought our own equipment, but the hotel kind of had us, our arms behind our back and contractually. So don't start an event, people, until you talk to me. Nonetheless, right? The first one was the first one. And I made a commitment to do 5 before I even considered what would happen next. Because to your point, it's like you got to take a risk. And the first one, you make all those mistakes. And if you don't do it again, then those mistakes, that's money under the bridge, wasted or whatever. So we've been doing it. This will be our 4th year. It's in Boulder, Colorado this year, just down the street from you. Yes. And so it is a industry conference for financial services professionals. So it's truly industry wide, meaning we have people from home offices, wealth management advisors, TPAs, right, in the 401k world, retirement plan advisors, people from vendors who, aren't sponsors, that are coming to work on their personal brand. And it's all about the process of creating a personal brand that is fueled by purpose. And then, what that means. And then if, you kind of get it, right? It's an inside out kind of situation. So we work on some of the concepts and ideas about what it means to claim purpose and claim your voice and find a place where you're comfortable and all those kind of things. And then also we work on, okay, now where do I go with this? Like, what channels should I use? What about a LinkedIn newsletter? Should I write a book? Should I do a TED Talk? That kind of stuff. So, and we've grown from 27 people to 150.
I'm so excited for it.
I know. I'm so excited that you're going to come, and it's interesting, right? Because there's not a place for industry marketers to go to. And yet when you speak to the salespeople, they're like, marketing doesn't know about, and my whole thing is, well, you never let them come to conferences. So there's that. So shut your trap. But the thing that's really cool about this for the marketers that might be listening is you get to be across the table from an advisor. You get to do all the work that you're doing to create these things for these people. You actually get to meet them. So it's all about, what does it mean to have a distinct voice? What does it mean to claim that you're a thought leader? What does it mean to have influence in a meeting? All that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Tell me the dates, because I don't think you mentioned that. And how long are tickets on sale?
So the dates are August 2nd through 4th, and it's in Boulder, Colorado. And if you go to swaylive.sherifitts, like how it's spelled over here, I never know. It's backwards. Swaylive.sherifitts.com. It'll get you to the site. And
Okay.
in the show notes, Hillary, I'll create a little promo code so you guys can get $200 off
Oh,
on your tickets for you guys and for your listeners. Please, that would be very cool.
that's so generous.
Yeah, and we're going to be at the new Limelight Hotel, which is on the campus of the University of Colorado Boulder. So it's so walkable, it's so beautiful, and yeah, we've got 150 driven, committed, curious, creative salespeople, leaders, marketing people, troublemakers coming to the event. Yeah.
Well, I'm so excited. I will put that link in the show note and your promo code as well. Thank you for
Yes.
that. And Sheri, if people want to learn more about you or get in touch with you, where are the best places for them to do that?
Well, you can find me on LinkedIn. So just search my name, Sheri Fitts, you'll find me. Or go to sherifitts.com. And the first thing that will happen is pop-up will get in your face about Sway Life. So there's that. And it follows you from page to page. And I need to fix it, but forgive me. It'll just follow you. So yeah, sherifitts.com or LinkedIn at Sheri Fitts. You'll find me. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, I'll link to those in
Yeah.
the show notes as well. Thank you so much for coming on and having this conversation.
Thank you for letting me continue to clarify my perspective about this. I really appreciate it. And I'm really excited for you to come and hang out with us. I'm very super excited. Yeah,
Me too. And I hope that some people who are listening will join us as well.
indeed. Michael Kitces, by the way, Michael Kitces said that we were the best advisor marketing conference of the year. So there.
Oh, so there. Thank you, Michael Kitces.
Exactly. There I go, getting all blown out again. Golly. Oof. Sunshine, Portland, Oregon. Thank you, Hillary.
Thank you, Sheri. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Finance Marketing Podcast. If you're eager to market your business in a way that feels good and actually gets results, sign up for the Finance Marketing Podcast newsletter in the show notes so you never miss another episode. If you liked what you heard today, please be sure to subscribe to the show on your favorite listening app and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. We'll see you back here next Friday.